Okay, these pieces here, they went on a lot faster than these ones here did. Reason being is I wasn't messing around videoing. Now, videoing to me is half the fun, that's why I do it. And also, I'm pretty sure I did mention that the reason I put the shafts in was so that I was assured that the parts were going to line up later after the parts had glued themselves into place and couldn't be moved. If any adjustments have to be made, the time to do it is, well, before the glue dries. Okay, I don't think we're going to need these shafts now. However, get the grease off my fingers because, mind you, I will probably be cleaning this stuff down before I paint it anyway. We haven't tried our rudder here. I honestly haven't tried it. This is going to be the first time, so let's just see how this is going to go here. Now, of course, I don't want to be breaking anything off here. I wonder if there's a trick to this. Yeah, I sure don't want to break this little skeg off. I wonder if I should be maybe just trimming that, just sort of rounding it just a little bit on the end there so it'll kind of slip in. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, it's just not wanting to go without having to put a lot of pressure on there. Pressure that I don't want to be doing. Okay, that looks a little better. Let's give that a try. Yeah, there we go. Now, a little while ago I checked the weather. In fact, it wasn't a little while ago, it was first thing this morning actually. And the reason being is I want to do the clear coat, spray the clear coat on the bottom of the hull outside. Maybe we should not leave this in here. Just carefully take it out. That way I'm not going to accidentally break the little part off there. Yeah, that seems to be okay. Anyway, and somebody who we have come to trust as a knowledgeable modeler has suggested that, now carefully, okay, that we glue the deck down before painting the hull. And I can understand his thinking. He didn't actually say this, but it is true that when there's no paint anywhere, the plastic is going to glue together a lot better. And he was suggesting just, put it on, wrap it up with plastic bands to make sure it's being held tight and everything. I don't know if I'm going to need to do that because the decks did seem to fit really well. And then after the deck is on, then paint the hull. And I was just wondering, how am I going to be able to mask the deck? Because I had wanted this top gunnel, as I mentioned before, to be the same color as this part of the hull. The lower part will be red, the upper part will be gray, and then there'll be a black boot line along here somewhere. Yeah. Now, there is something that I've been thinking of doing here for this build, and that is put down a larger cloth or towel. And I like the idea of having a cloth down because even though I have to vacuum it out, it's harder to clean if I put something round down, it doesn't roll away, and it does protect the bottom of the ship when I'm, moving it around. I wasn't too careful when I was doing the Bismarck, and I got a few little marks on the hull that I had to try and touch up later, if you will remember. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try and find a larger towel, like a beach towel or something like that, and staple it down. I'll just see what I got. Okay, I've got this one. It's definitely bigger. We've had it in the family for many, many years. It's a little bit on the ragged side, but actually that's not what's concerning me. What's concerning me is that it is somewhat more coarse than this brown cloth. And it's about the right size. I could spread that out. As you can see, our hull just nicely fits on it. However, I'm a little bit concerned. I'll bring the camera in and I'll show you what I'm concerned about here. What I'm concerned about is our brown cloth. You will notice the pile is a lot shorter than it is on this well, it's not a new towel, on this old new towel. And this is a microfiber. This is not. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be microfiber. But anyway, my concern is, now, see some of these little tiny pieces? I believe there might even be smaller pieces. I know there was on the Bismarck. We had smaller pieces, terrible small. I couldn't even handle them, and I gave up on it. It was a little hook. Anyway, I'm afraid that it is possible for some of these little pieces to possibly get lost in the pile. If I would, if I was to have it sort of ping away from me, if you know what I mean, and then it sort of landed somewhere in the pile. And if you don't see where it lands, it might be kind of hard to find. So I think I'm going to look for something else. In fact, may as well be honest, I already have, and I've already ordered it. Hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. It's another towel like this, only I believe that the pile is going to be shorter. Yeah, a little while ago when I was first looking at this green towel, I sort of realized that the pile is probably too long, but I wanted to try it out anyway and spread it out and just see how it looked. But like I say, I realized that the pile was going to be too long, so I went on Amazon this morning and I ordered another towel. I think it'll be better, and according to Amazon, it's supposed to be here tomorrow. Now I like to order, I like to buy local. However, I just don't want to go out looking for another towel. Now, I didn't actually think I was going to be doing this for a while yet. Okay, the stern, the bow, midsection, I'd kind of like to find the piece that goes in right here, make sure it's going to fit. Probably isn't for a few steps yet, but it's the piece that goes right here. Oh, you know what? It is actually part of the larger superstructure that goes on right here. Okay, I know where that is. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense now. I'll swing the camera around so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so what I was concerned about was, is it going to fit properly right here? Okay, sorry I had my hands in the way. Okay, yeah, it's going to be almost a perfect fit. All right, that's good. So that means this deck right here can be fastened down right there. And then, yeah, if the bow is tucked in just nicely there, then this centerpiece can go right up against this piece. Yeah, I just want to make sure everything's going to fit, because once it's glued in place, it's going to be almost impossible to adjust later. So, yeah, I think we can make that so that it's going to look all right. Looks like this has to be sprung down just a little bit, but that shouldn't be a problem. Now, I don't want to be too far forward, because if I get it too far forward, then this part right here sort of pops up, you see what I mean? So I gotta try and find a happy medium here, so that this part right here is flush, and yet there's not a big gap right there where my fingernail is. Well, mind you, there's going to be probably railing going around there anyway. At least I would think there would be something there. I would believe that right there would be just about just right. That's a compromise. Yeah, something like that. Now, my tendency is to want to just put a little bit of extra thin in here right now and sort of hold it in place. But you know what? I think I'm going to take Tony's advice and wrap it with rubber bands and just sort of hold our deck down and squeeze in on the gunnels at the same time, just a little. Although I don't think we need to too much here. I think it's going to be all right. Let me find my rubber bands. Okay, I can't remember. Is it elastic bands that pop when you touch them with CA, or is it the extra thin? I think it's the CA glue that, if I remember right, yeah, the CA glue will play havoc on elastic bands. It could be the extra thin will as well. So when I do put my extra thin in the crack, I don't want it to be wicking its way along and releasing our elastic. Now, should this go just a little bit more further ahead? See if I can just move it just a little bit further ahead here. Maybe that's about it. Yeah, we got this little tiny gap right there, but I think we're about as far ahead as I can get here. Okay, should I have another? Should I maybe be putting something under here to hold this down? I'll give you a better view in a minute here of what's going on. Oh, well, that's all right, I guess. Oh, I better have another couple back here. Okay, anyway, you get the idea of what I'm trying to do here, I think. I still think it should go forward just a little bit. There we go. That's a little better anyway. I realize that my lighting is not perfect, but this should give you an idea. Okay, here's my latest thinking on this. Instead of trying to do this whole forward section all at the same time, maybe I'm better off just, going back 3 or 4 inches and then let that dry. Maybe need a little bit more pressure here. I don't want to be breaking off any details either. That's a little better. Okay, I do believe that this first 4 or 5 inches is about as good as it can get. Well, here goes nothing. This should wick its way along the crack. I know it's going to mark the plastic here. I want to try and get it down just in behind there. You couldn't see it, but it was wicked its way along pretty good. Okay, I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, let's just leave that now for a while. I think this is in the right place. I hope this is in the right place. Right now, at this very moment, it's about 20 after 2 in the afternoon. And probably about 45 minutes has passed here since we put this on while I was editing out those last few scenes, and it's getting kind of late. I would like to give this at least 2 hours before I, release the bands, because this stuff will slowly let go if it's not completely dried. It probably would be safe to release right now, but you know what? Let's call it a day. Thanks for watching. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.